The stock market is rigged. In this video, we're going to recap the 0-day option action. May 21st, 2024, SPY and QQQ, brought to you by Rigged AI, the options trading system for degens. We took this trade right here. We released an incredibly ridiculous long video. You can see it on the other channel. We'll link to it below, where we got about 60, 70% on 20 or so contracts. Awesome. Got a little bit scared up here. And then we also took this trade. We were on a live stream for our Discord members. We lost again, but we got back into it because it's one of those things where, hey, once it goes higher, even though volume's low, we typically continue in that direction, and maybe we just set our stops a little bit too tight before taking runners here to over 100%. Overall, nightmare mode, SPY and QQQ, but that doesn't mean there weren't good trades. So if we look at the first one, let's scroll down now and find it. The first alert comes in at 9:52. Win rate is 46.48%, pretty high, and we have edge, which tells us the probability of this 46.48% win rate happening again is significant. And this is where MDA, max drawdown average, becomes very, very important. Why? So if this wins at 46% of the time, those winning trades have an average drawdown of 26%. You're looking at the max drawdown on this trade, 16.78%. After that, you are in the money the rest of the session. The price of QQQ is never lower than 21 minutes later. So what we're building into the application should be coming soon. Fingers crossed. Dev team chained up downstairs, whip them into shape. Is setting a range where if there's edge, we're telling you right here, hey, you might want to buy this 20% lower. We don't have to chase it right away. Because if this trade does win, especially because it's coming at the open, there's going to be a significant drawdown along the way. You can find a better entry price. And if you took this 20% cheaper, do the math, something, your max gain, end of day return is probably closer to 200%. We were in this for like 30 contracts, eventually went down to like 5 contracts, and got stomped out because we didn't want to look at it the entire day, nor did we expect this thing to go straight up 3 strikes and close. But sometimes markets are going to market. That's what happened. Next, you're looking at this bear that comes in, 1043, 59.38% win rate with edge. MDA is even higher, 36.40%. Once again, I know this is kind of faded, not very good. We're going to fix it. So automatically, this is telling you, screaming in your face, hey, if this trade is going to win, right? Because you're $1.53 higher than the blue line, higher than the open. If this trade is going to win, there's a nasty drawdown along the way. So you're thinking like, hey, if I'm going to take this, I want this way cheaper. I want this 40% off. I want the discount. I want to TJ Maxx that shit. And it doesn't really happen. Starting to rock a little bit of weeble here. The alert comes in. This is the high win rate bear bomb with edge. This is when we get it. But if we're looking and we're using MDA, which was minus 36% drawdown, we're not even interested in the price of this thing until it's like 35 cents, something like that. And the interesting thing is, it's kind of cut off. But if you took it here at 36 cents, you actually had one opportunity to catch almost 100% trade because it goes all the way up to 59 in one candle. But overall, right, this thing just sucks. It's a dud. That happens. That's trading. But the important thing, and which we're going to be helping you guys on shortly, is just knowing like, hey, high win rate's very sexy, but we need all of the components to win, right? And if MDA is high, we are looking for a better entry. You don't find it, just don't take the trade. Because if you take it immediately, it just gets crushed the entire day, right? It never makes any money. I don't know why this thing keeps moving on me. But it's just like a perfect example. Better entry using MDA to find it. We can also do this for the QQQ 454 call option that we made money on. 9:52 in the morning is when that alert comes in right here. We just moved up higher. Chill, relax, wait. MDA is minus 27%, something like that. Do the math, run the numbers. You're looking for like 55, 56, 60 cents. And the starting price is 75. And you'll notice we have two really killer candles that get you in to the trade. Here and here. And obviously, when we do the math, the returns are, drumroll, exponentially, potentially better. Boom. So remember, it all comes back to TKO. Tradability, Komodo on fire. We've been talking a lot about the Komodo evolution, 2.0, 3.0, whatever you want to call it. We're probably going to say something like Komodo returns. But using this, right, it's a bull above the blue line. We are looking for a better entry, and we're using Komodo here, MDA, to tell us what to look for, where to go. Now, there weren't really any more good trades here. I mean, you can take this. I mean, it is crazy that we almost got 3 strikes on such low volume. But you have to know when this comes in, it's late. You are late. You just moved up. And even though this is like a 50-cent move, 60-cent move, you did move higher. And that's why we took this one. You know, we got stomped out here. We got stomped out here, and then we took it again and caught the rip up. Why? Because there was a small pullback. Literally the only reason. When we move over to SPY, let's see, what do we have? One, from 10:30, which is kind of hilarious, you know, because we use the first hour as the open session here at Rigged. They kept this thing pinned at 530. Never touching 531, never touching 529. That is ping pong. That is all day. This is a really good setup with this bear bomb. Here, not as much, because why? You know, we just moved up really quickly. White candles means we're going higher. You don't want this. Generally, what I've been saying in the least financial terms possible is that when we get above the blue, you want to follow it. You want to follow the move. When we get below the blue, you want to follow it as well. This bears in this plus, you know, you can see it BL 1.19. Dangerous. I'm already thinking like, hey, this thing is probably not going to go to 3 strikes, but that doesn't mean I want to trade it here. I would rather take it at the blue line or even lower, because that means, could mean, that we're going to nuke. One good high win rate alert here, 58.33% with edge. So write those bear bombs, we're already telling you. P is 0, so it's not statistically anything. But the win rate is 11%. You know, is that a trade that you want to enter? Probably not. This is great, 58.33. Max drawdown, 16.84%. This max drawdown was nasty, 45%, but then it rips, 110% in 20 minutes. And this is what it comes down to, guys. I mean, we don't have to overcomplicate, right? 1506 to right here, 11 minutes. That is a big move up. You can look at it in your chart. You're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles in a row that have been straight up. When this comes in, it is right below the strike. And if it just rips through, take it. It's nightmare mode. We're trading fun money anyway, or at least we should be. But you have the perfect opportunity just minutes later, goes down, 1528, right before Robinhood, and they blast it. I mean, this is just one that, hey, we just have to look at and be patient. And if you're patient, then you take your flyer, or even if you take your flyer after it comes down just a little bit, right? Because we are right below the strike. If it doesn't blow through, it's going to go down. You take it there, you get your 100% on a couple contracts because it's fun money, nightmare mode, and then you go about your day. Trading this type of price action is incredibly difficult. We would have expected mean reversion. We just went higher. Maybe it's because NVIDIA reports on Wednesday after the close. I mean, this is nuts. And it's the last thing we'll mention. I know this is getting a little bit long. Here you go. This is a bull right at the blue line. You get 1, 2, 3, almost 3.5, closing higher. And this thing makes like no money at all. I mean, let's find this thing. Right at the blue, right at the blue. And your max gain is 20%. Oh, but your max gain is 16%. That's because IV is high. And if IV is high, you need a massive move to make any kind of money. Even on a Tuesday, 1, 2, 3, that's at least 80%. At least. But not today. Up to you whether you want to trade it or not. Personally, don't know anything. Especially don't know how to trade NVIDIA around earnings before the IV crush, whatever the heck that means. Not going to mess with it. Tesla was incredible today. System working perfectly. A couple elements we need to bring into the trading system to really bring all of that to the attention of users. Going to say bring yourself to the website. Click the links below. Check it out. You can see all of the alerts, all of the strategy, how much money you could have made or probably lost. Stock market is rigged, but even in this environment that you probably should not optimize for, it wasn't terribly difficult to make money.